Always a pleasure to be joined by UFC welterweight champion Belal Muhammad, who takes on Jack Della Maddalena in the UFC 315 main event May 10th in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. What's up, Belal? How's it going?
What's up, Farrah? How you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. Now, you fought around the world early in your career, especially you fought even in Australia. But when they came to you with Canada, kind of what was your reaction?
I was excited for it, especially Montreal. That's the home of GSP. That's when he had like some of the most epic entrances. It's a cool arena, and even for myself, it was coming up as an amateur, coming up as a pro. You're always looking up to GSP, trying to be like him. And then I actually drove down to TriStar to train and get some work in with those guys when I was still at Titan FC, and I got to go to the TriStar gym and train with Faraz Zahabi and Ayman Zahabi. So it's a cool. It's come around full circle now that I'm fighting main event over there now.
Yeah, and it feels like Canada have been kind of starving for a good event. They haven't been too happy with their past pay-per-views or fight nights or whatnot. But this card seems pretty good, like probably their best in a very long time. Do you feel the same way? Do you like the way the card shaped out?
Yeah, I mean, any card I'm on, I like the way it's shaped out, right? For myself now, it's like I want to give the fans something. I want to make sure that they're leaving like, dang, believe he put on a show, and I can't wait to do that.
And you got to do the pre-fight press conference with Jack in Canada. It's not often that you get to do that kind of media obligations early with your opponent there, right? So the press conference, the face-off. Did you get any takeaways? I know Jack's a pretty tame guy. He has said some stuff in interviews, which we'll get to in a bit. But what was kind of your gauge from being around Jack in Canada?
I mean, it's weird, right? It's just because the fight's so far away, and we were doing a press conference, and there was only media there. There was no fans. It wasn't a lot of like good energy. And like you said, Jack's not really a talker. He's a he's a whisperer, and just like you can't really hear what he's saying. He's not. There's no like bad blood or beef like that where we're gonna like go crazy with each other, and I'm not gonna like fake anything. So, but I mean, it's always cool. It was cool to get to Montreal. It was freezing over there. There's still snow, but we got to walk around and experience like the energy there. We went to the hockey game, which I think was one of the coolest things. So we were in the arena and we got to feel how the fans were with just like the hockey team and just sports in general.
And yeah, I know the press conference wasn't exactly some crazy trash talk back and forth. And you said you don't want to like fake anything, but he did do some media and he was talking about how he feels like he'll knock you out early in the first round. He did kind of criticize your style a little bit, calling it boring. He said it's effective. So what do you, I'm pretty sure you've seen those comments, and what do you make of them?
I'm glad now he's trying to talk, right? I didn't know he could speak English. So now that I know that he could talk, now I can go back and forth with him, and it won't seem like I'm bullying the kid. I'll get a response out of him. But yeah, I mean, even when he says it, it's not with confidence. He's mumbling it, and he's saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna finish him in the first round, bro." Like you don't even believe that. I think that he knows it's gonna be a long night for him, a hard night for him, and the result's going to be inevitable. I'm going to walk through them. I'm going to break them, and then I'm going to show the world why I'm the best in the world. And there's none of these guys. Like they're people already. Oh man, his boxing is this, his boxing that. I'm going to show you that I'm going to outstrike him. I'm going to outbox him. Right? Leon Edwards was supposed to kickbox me, kill me on defeat. Now with Jack, I'm going to beat him at his own game. I'm going to use my hands, break him physically, mentally, and he's going to realize I should have just stayed lower in the rankings. I should have never accepted this. I should have stayed in Australia. I went on this long flight for no reason.
And speaking of that, because obviously you were supposed to fight Shavkat, seemed like you wanted to compete. Shavkat couldn't make the date. UFC wanted you on that card. They ended up getting Jack Della Maddalena, but Ian Machado Gary in some interviews has said, he was livid that the UFC didn't even call him. So in your opinion, was Jack the right guy? And what do you think of Ian saying, like, why didn't they call me? Was Ian even someone you thought could potentially be the one to fight you?
I mean, when they told me Shavkat was going to be out, I was obviously looking and thinking who would they pick and where they go. Ian coming off a loss, I knew I doubted they would give it to him. But they did bring up Buckley, so I thought Buckley was there. He had a big streak, and then when they told me they were going to take Jack away from Leon, I was like, oh, okay. It made more sense just because he has such a long streak. He's on a double-digit win streak, and for me, that's excites me, right? Because that'll be the third person that I take their double digit win streak. I took Sean Brady's, I took Leon's, and now I'm gonna take Jack's. And those are the fights that wake me up. Like Shavkat being undefeated, that's a fight that wakes me up. If Ian was undefeated, it would make more sense. But him coming off a loss, I think he needs one more win. Uh, and him taking this fight on short notice against Pratis is huge, right? Because they'll get right back in the mix off of it.
And now that you mentioned that, that's obviously next weekend. How do you think that fight plays out between Ian and Carlos Pratis? And do you see the winner of that potentially emerging as the next title challenger, or is it still Shavkat in your eyes?
Yeah, in my eyes, it's still Shavkat, unless he's still going to be out a lot longer. But like Brady just had a huge performance against Leon, and like I said, you still got Buckley there. He's calling for Usman. Uh, I think both of these guys, it has to be like a huge, huge show or huge performance. For me, I think Ian fights very smart. He understands how to win, and I think that the experience in the Shavkat fight is going to help him in the Pratis fight. I think he's going to use his distance, stay long, stick and move, stick and move, stick and move, and I think he's going to go out there and win this one.
Buckley seems to be kind of like the forgotten contender, which I can't quite understand because he's put together a nice streak. He's a guy that actually puts effort promotionally. Are you surprised to see him kind of the odd man out? Maybe they'll match him up with Usman. Is that what you see next for him? And are you surprised in general that, not only did he not get the fight with you, that he seems to be kind of the forgotten contender? And I don't understand it personally.
Yeah, I mean, he's putting in effort, right? He's talking, he's doing this. Like I've actually trained with him, and then people are like, "Oh man, he's trying to call you out." I'm like, bro, I'm the champion now. I don't take none of that personally, right? I want to fight these guys that are hungry and somebody that's actually gonna promote with me and talk with me. I think that his thing is hard, right? Because I think he's making the wrong call outs, and you're trying to call out Usman, who's just sitting on the sidelines, not trying to fight. So it's like kind of like the McGregor waiting game where Chandler waited for him, and you're waiting for nothing because like I don't think Usman's gonna fight. So for me, it would be like, all right, well, try to get the Brady fight, or try to get the Ian or Pratis fight, and that would like propel you because even with that Kobe fight, he dominated him, but the coward Kobe pulled his way out of there, and just the way the win happened, it was like, well, the doctor stoppage, and now this loser has an excuse to say that, oh, I would have came back in the fourth and fifth round, but if he would have like finished him the way that he finished like Wonder Boy, I think that people would be talking about him a lot more.
And it appears the narrative for your fight going into this one with Jack has changed, right? Because since you've joined the UFC, you've kind of been an underdog, underestimated by people. But now I'm seeing not only betting odds wise, but a lot of fans, pundits, fellow fighters in your division, guys that are after your title that are picking you to win. I mean, Ian said he thinks you'll run through Jack. You've got Sean Brady who said, I don't think I'll bet against Belal again. Are you surprised to kind of see the narrative change? And does it almost feel weird that people are not underestimating you going into this one?
Yeah, I'm like, bro, where you got? Go back, get away from me again. I don't want the fans. Like, I want the doubters. I want the people to tell me that I'm going to lose because it just makes me work that much harder. But that's why I have the circle around me, right? The teammates around me, the people around me that keep me level headed. There is no easy fight in this game. There is no easy win, as people will say it, or the fans will say it. So like in my head, I'm going against the best striker in the world. In my head, I'm going against Canelo Alvarez. So I got to train like I'm going against those guys. So I don't look past them and I don't take my foot off the gas. Like I'm still having that underdog mentality. For me, it's not defending the belt. It's still fighting for the belt again. It's still remembering that it took me this long to get to my title shot. It still took me this long to even be noticed by anybody. And I'm not gonna let it go. He's not gonna take it from me.
And I think the reason the narrative's like that is just because stylistically on paper, obviously with your grappling, your pressure, your pace, the way you mix things up with your striking and grappling versus Jack, which what he showed in previous fights, maybe against Bessel Hafiz and Gilbert Burns getting taken down. He does have a tendency to pop back up. He seems to be good at that, not necessarily getting controlled too much on the ground. What do you make overall of his grappling?
Like you said, he'll get taken down, but he doesn't give up. He's always moving. He's always scrambling, and the his biggest strength I think is just like his heart. He doesn't have a quit button in him. Like with Leon, I knew he was gonna quit. I knew I was gonna find it. With Jack, I just got to search a little bit harder. I think once I piece him up on the feet with my hands, then he's gonna go, wait, dang, he does got Canelo hands. His hands are way better than mine. maybe he is the best boxer in the UFC. I think that's going to be where mentally he's like, I ain't got no plan B. Like he only has a plan A. And once he figures that out, that's where his break will come.
Speaking of Leon, obviously he is coming off of that loss to Sean Brady. Surprised? I know you did predict a Brady win, but surprised with the way it panned out?
No, I'm not surprised. Even when I said it, I said if Brady gets at least 2 to 3 takedowns, by the third takedown, Leon will break. Um, and it just comes from Leon mentally, right? Yeah. They went after that fight. They had so many excuses. Oh, it was the sun. It was the lights. I didn't have breakfast. I didn't do this. Instead of fixing what was wrong, fixing your defensive wrestling, fixing your getting up, fixing giving up your back. And I think that's where he messed up. Where it was like it was just an off night instead of let me get better in all these other areas. And even for myself with Sean Brady, I know how good Sean Brady was. I texted Paul Felder. I posted it before where it was like, I think after Sean Brady beat Gilbert, I was like, man, I think he beats all these guys, all these other guys, just because his style, right? And when I beat him, and people were like, oh man, he got exposed. He sucks. He's not this. Now people are starting to realize how good that win was.
Yeah, that win aged very well. And now, like, kind of with the way welterweight is, I know you mentioned that you see that Shafkat fight is the one that should be rebooked should you get a win over Jack Della. But what do you make of the state of the welterweight division overall? It seems like it's kind of like the best it's been in a while, right? Like the talent level, the potential challenges that you have ahead of you. Would you agree with that? And does that excite you even more, especially with you talking about GOAT is the goal, right? You want to surpass GSP. So does it excite you even more knowing that these challenges that you have coming up are very legit ones?
Yeah, 100%. I think this is the best the welterweight's been in a long time when you're looking at skill for skill, how talented all these guys are, and like how many undefeated guys, how many long winning streaks we got going, and just like the fights that could be made. There's just so many, and I'm just glad these guys are actually starting to fight. Right? There's not a lot of. They got a champion now that's accepting anybody. There's not a champion now that's wait, how many followers does he have? Nah, I don't want to fight him. How many, you know, how many YouTube pages does he have? It's like, nah, it's like, I want to fight the best guy. I don't care what your thing is, what that is. I want to show that I'm the best skilled welterweight to ever do it. And the way I do that is by beating all these up and comers, beating these guys that are on these winning streaks and keep taking their streaks away from them.
You mentioned Kamaru Usman earlier and how you feel like Buckley probably shouldn't be wasting his energy calling him out. Do you not see him returning? Like, what do you make of Kamaru Usman in general, like in the title picture in general, or the top contention picture?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you see him coming out. He's had over 2 years off. He's a podcaster now. He just likes to talk. I think he's kind of like a McGregor, where he gets a little bit. He misses it. He wants to just stay relevant. So whenever there's a big name or somebody or a big fight coming up, he'll say something, and it'll get thoughts, or he'll post a picture with Style Bender in the gym just to get like, oh, maybe he's tomorrow training for something. Is he doing something? And it's like, at the end of the day, there's a lot hungrier guys. There's guys that really want it, and there's guys that are there right now that deserve it and earned it. So that's why when I say Buckley should be calling out these other hungry guys with him, right? These younger lions, because those are the guys that are actually going to show up to fight day.
You've been asked about this a million times, including by myself, but about the whole podcast situation. My colleague Mike Bond spoke to Henry Cejudo, and he kind of gave a little bit of insight. I saw you comment on that. Why is it, in your opinion, that this episode's not coming out? Has he been told not to put it out? Like, I know earlier, it seemed like when we were doing our earlier interviews, it seemed like you guys could potentially fight. Now, the way you're saying things, it doesn't seem like he's exactly on your radar. But what do you think, in your opinion, is the reason why that episode hasn't come out?
I mean, if I was on a podcast and I cried on it, like I would not want to put it out there. I would not want to show the world my tears. But I would just say there's levels to talking, right? He's not good at it, and that's like for me, if I'm a fighter and there's a fight to be made, like maybe he wins his next fight, and maybe that's a promoting tactic on his end. But like I said, when you look dumb, you're not gonna show it.
Well, that's what I meant, as in like him releasing it would have probably helped build a storyline with you is why I was saying that. Like, as in, especially like I said a few months ago and stuff, like when we were talking, it just seemed like it could have been a possibility. Even you were entertaining it, but the narrative has changed a little bit now with Brady getting that big win over Edwards. Now Jack Della getting the call. But I was talking about it a few months ago. I just felt like, whoa, this is an opportunity to build the fight, right?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. But I think when your ego is too big, you don't want to post anything where you look stupid in it.
All right, we'll leave that at that. But wanted to also talk to you about a lot of people talking about, Islam at 170. Like Habib said, like he doesn't want to see you guys fight. He's been asked about it a lot. You've been asked about it a lot. Are you kind of tired of being asked about it? I know that sounds weird because I'm asking about you. I'm asking you about it right now. But in general, like this narrative, do you think that people, it's easy for them to talk from the outside, and if they were in your situation and Islam's situation, they wouldn't do the same? Because like Ilya was just on Joe Rogan's podcast saying like, yeah, they should fight. But do you think if the roles were reversed and it was like an Ilya and a Merab, like they're just talking, they wouldn't do it themselves?
Oh, 100% they wouldn't do it themselves. I mean, Marab literally wouldn't fight Aljo, right? There's levels to loyalty and there's levels to this. And it's, for myself, like you said, you do get tired of it because I do got a lot, like you said, I have a lot of challenges. I got a long list of guys in
Yeah.
front of me. And even for Islam now, with Paddy Pimblett with that huge win, he got another guy right there. He got Justin Gaethje right there. If Topuria gets a win, he got him right there too. But yeah, on my end, it's like my eyes are set on my next target. My next target is Jack, and that's all really I care about.
What's up with you and like Topuria in general? Like he seems to comment on you, like talking about you, your style, this thing. Like it's not, you guys aren't even in the same weight class. So are you surprised to see? I don't want to go as far as calling it beef, but like, are you surprised with this back and forth with Ilya Topuria of all people?
No, I think he got like little man syndrome, and he's just like he's trying to puff his chest out to think that he's like bigger than he actually is, or thinking that he's this. He's trying, right? He's not really good at trash talking, really good at talking in general. But I think he's just trying to portray this character. Even with the way the beef started, it was like somebody asked me about Islam and Topuria, and I said, well, Islam's a lot bigger, and I think it'll be a bad matchup for Topuria. And careful with your trash talk. Like these guys don't do the trash talk game. And then he went, oh man, you're not a real champion. You suck. This, and that. And I was like, all right, well, if you want the beef, I'll give you the beef. I'm not afraid of it. I like talking. So if you're gonna chirp back at me, I'm gonna clap right back. And like you said, you're two weight classes below me, so it's like nothing that's gonna come from it. But if he wants to keep talking, we can go.
Do you think he'll end up fighting Islam next? Do you see that happening? Because Habib seems to be like set on like, Ilya needs to earn his shot, but Ilya's then saying UFC promised him a title shot. Do you think that fight happens?
No, I mean I'm with them, right? I think he needs to earn it. I think he needs to fight either Oliveira or Justin or even Patty right now, to show the fans that all right, he is a lightweight. Because you're gonna look at it and then you're gonna see how much bigger Islam than is him, and then there are people are gonna say the same thing that Islam what happened when Islam beat Volkanovski. Oh well, you just beat a 45er. You just that's all you did. He's smaller. Look at his title reign. It was a 45er, another 45er, but Volkanovski at the time was the number one pound for pound guy. Volkanovski at the time was on a double digit win streak, beating everybody, walked through everybody in the division. And for Topuria, yeah, he looked amazing in the last two fights with Holloway and Volk. Those are huge wins, but like there's still other contenders, right? You got Mobstar there that you didn't fight. He was undefeated. You had Diego there that you didn't fight. There's guys at lightweight that earned the title shot and deserve the title shot right now, right? Like Justin Gaethje just got a big win against Fiziev. So guys that Islam hasn't fought already. So there's really no need for Islam to like risk it for Topuria when there's not much to gain from it, when it's just going to be the same old, oh, he's a lot smaller. Size matters. Weight bully, this, and that.
And yeah, because the whole double champ thing, I know a lot of fighters have been chasing that. Islam himself, like I understand what comes with it. It's something that you had mentioned in the past before, but earlier we talked about the challenges that you have ahead of you. So is that, do you put kind of the double champ aspirations on the side? Is it a matter of just momentum and what seems to be happening right now? Like, how do you feel in general with the potential of a double champ? Because you and Dricus talked back and forth before, versus racking up title defenses.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like just building my legacy and getting to the point where, like, they're asking me to move up because there is nothing left for me at welterweight. They're asking me, yo, bro, you've dominated all these guys. But there's no chance to go up there and beat up Driscus. And like that's something I would look for. But like I said, I think I still have to earn it. I think I still need 2 or 3 more wins, title defenses to be like, all right, now it's time. Because even now, where it's like I have 5 top 10 wins in my division, so I go out there, I beat Jack, then whatever Shalkat's next, one move, whoever's after that, then it's like, all right, well now it's gonna be all rematches again. So you might as well start moving up and start looking upwards.
Yeah, and let's wrap up with this. I know a lot of fans had noticed on the ESPN page or the UFC page, I believe that the Palestinian flag was missing next to your name. You didn't have a flag. I believe you spoke to the UFC and they had that back right away. So how much did that mean to you that the response was fast from the UFC and just seeing all the fans like kind of pushing for it to happen?
Yeah, I mean, it meant a lot, especially with Dana, right? When I was at the weigh-ins with Nacho at the pay-per-view, Dana walked up to me and said, bro, your flag's coming right back up tonight. And then it was up there tonight. So it means a lot to me that he kept his word. And like he says, I don't censor anything. I'm not pushing anything in for myself and for the people of Palestine, right? They need their flag represented. They need that voice. And that's what I am. I'm their champion. And I'm always going to carry that flag with me. I'm always going to carry that flag high with pride. Because they're not going to be forgotten. They're not going to be let go. And I'm the one that's going to carry that burden. I'm the one that's going to be carrying that pride with me into the title fight, every title fight I have after this. So I'm glad that the UFC realized it and they put it back up there. And there's going to be no censoring.
For sure. And one last thing, actually, how do you see the rest of your year panning out? Obviously, there's always that big Abu Dhabi pay-per-view card in October. Your fight's coming up in May. Do you envision yourself kind of fighting a couple more times, one more time? How do you see the rest of your 2025 going?
Yeah, for me, I love to be in the cage. And even with the last fight, after I won it, I was trying to do a quicker turnaround to fight Shavkat. We had the injury. But I like to be active. I want to be the active champion. So after this fight, inshallah, we're injury free and we're going to be looking for as soon as possible. Obviously, October's with Abu Dhabi, but I'm also hearing there's some rumors of Chicago. So for my mind, it's like, all right, let's get through Jack, and then we look what's next.
Yeah. Well, Bilal, I really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so much. As always, very much looking forward to your fight with Jack. Best of luck on May 10th.
Appreciate you, Fair.